everybody. Welcome to HBCU Original, and this is the Spotlight. A word from our sponsor for the day.
Today's show is sponsored by 9 Acres and a Vibe. Want to be a sponsor? Email us for more info. Now back to the show.
All right. Good day, everybody, everywhere. Good morning. My name is JLWILLIAMS. I'm really excited. I want to welcome you to HBCU Original, baby. Only place to be, man, when it comes to media and all kinds of information as it pertains to really uplifting and empowering our people. Man, I'm truly excited today. We got a real one on deck, y'all. A real one. You hear what I'm saying? Listen, none other than Shayna Jones. Shayna Jones, owner of 9 Acres and a Vibe. And let me tell you something. She a vibe. Ain't no doubt about it. And so we really excited to have her on deck right now. And she's an HBCU graduate from none other than Delaware State University.
Hornets.
So we're excited about that. Shayna, how you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing real good. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Well, we so glad to have you here. I when Vince told me about you and I looked over your stuff, 9 Acres and a Vibe, like that right there just speaks volumes to me. Even just saying it, I feel the energy coming up off of it. And so I want you to just sort of share that and tell us a little something about yourself as we get started here.
All right. Well, I started 9 Acres and a Vibe in like 2020. I wanted to have my own brand, but I wanted to have, I like creating things, I like putting things together. So it's kind of like a play on words off of like Spike Lee's company, because he's like a real influence. And 9 is one of my favorite numbers. And I really like chill vibes. Like I'm really like a vibe. Like I just be chilling. I like fun and stuff like that. So that's just what I wanted to like bring to myself. 9 Acres to start, and then like a vibe, like, and then me, myself, I, like you said, I went to Delaware State University. I graduated in 2013, Hornets. But yeah, so it's been a journey to get here. So, and I'm going to talk about it.
That's what's up. That's good. When I sort of was looking over your stuff, I guess what came to mind to me was a creative intellectual that has such creative abilities. Where did they come from? Where does the foundation of that come from? That creative side of you?
I would say, so a lot of my family members are very creative. The first time I ever like really was interested in anything, it actually was audio production. That's what I truly went to Del State for. And I got that from my cousin. I would stay in Brooklyn with my grandma over the summers, and I grew up a lot in Brooklyn. I would just be in his room and he would just be making beats all summer. So creatively, like he was that part, but I also had cousins that did comic books and stuff like that. So I feel like my foundation of creativity has always been like my family, and we laugh and we joke a lot. We don't take anything seriously. Like we should actually take some things seriously, but we don't. So yeah, I would say my family is my real foundation of like how I became creative, or how I was able to feel comfortable within creativity. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And so that creativity part, I just wanted to tap in on that. Now, where did you get started in, as far as the creativity? I mean, you said your family, but was this in your high school, or was it from middle school, or what drove you to want to become a comic book writer? I mean, and actually an illustrator as well. Like, just trying to get a background, I guess.
Okay. So this part of my life is fairly new. And I would say like maybe bits and pieces I saw within myself, and now it kind of like manifests into what it is now. Because this series that I have, I actually wrote it in the sense of I can't get the word out, a cartoon. It wasn't supposed to be a comic book. But looking at the budget of a comic book, I couldn't. It was or looking at the budget of a cartoon, it was like $20,000, as opposed to
Mm,
comic books, which is like 2,000. So that's where, in the sense of comic book, came to start. But I would say, like, when I was in high school, I had a class, and it was like a multimedia class, and
mm,
we had to make a video, like a commercial, like a 20-second commercial, and me and my friends, we made it on like a shampoo, and I really like had an interest in making that video. So then, like, I remember that part, like, and then when I went to college and I realized like audio production, it wasn't that they were trying to teach me radio instead of like actually producing beats, and I was like, I don't want to do that. But then I remembered that I actually like had a liking for video work, so then that made me switch my major into video production. So that's what I graduated with, video.
Oh,
But then, like, if I look back,
mm.
like, I would see where I just like, I like analyzing things, so I would like analyze a lot of music videos and like creating them in my own head and then wishing I could do it myself. So it was just like, it wasn't like anything that kind of like I felt like I had a vision and I saw it and I wanted to do. It was like bits and pieces here and there, like kind of all formed into this. Like, I didn't think I would be an illustrator. Like, if
Mm.
anybody told me that I would have a comic book, I would be like, yeah, cool, yeah, that's what's up. But I wouldn't believe them at all. Like, I think this was just like steps that kind of like led me here.
Oh,
yeah, that
that's
one.
what's up.
I wanted to piggyback off what you said as far as the video production and things, because I noted that you work for like and Revolt TV
Hmm.
and Steve Rutherford production company. And can you highlight on that a little bit?
Yeah, so when I worked for Revolt, it was when Revolt wasn't even a thing yet. They were trying to get an on-air host
Hmm.
for their upcoming, like, whatever the first show that they were coming out, they were trying to look for a host. So what I would do is the research to find different hosts and stuff like that, and I would have to put their videos together to present to the executives so they can pick a host. Um, so working there, like, honestly, like, I got that was my like first jump into the real world and how like
Hmm.
cutthroat TV is, or the entertainment businesses and all aspects of it. Um, and working for Steve Rothfeld, I remember I was working there. I had an overnight job. I worked at FedEx as a security guard, and I would get off overnight and then drive, what was it, like 2.5 hours past Philly, to get to their station so I could do like their highlights. Like, if they had a new episode, I would do the
Hmm.
highlights for the episode and stuff like that. Just like the promotion before the episodes. So working at both places, it gave me, I would say, a lot of real world experience, like how hard it is just to get
Wow.
through all of it.
That's
Yeah, that's
powerful.
good. And you know
That's
what? I
powerful.
find that a lot of young people don't really assess the cost that it takes in order for you to actually become who you need to become as an individual, so you can
Right.
actually, you know, be proficient in the space that you're in. And I wanted to I wanted to sort of delve deeper into that space. What are some of the challenges that you faced and that you can sort of speak about that you've overcome that sort of got that sort of were the catalyst that sort of got you to where you are now?
Okay. So I would say, especially when it pertains to like TV, any type of entertainment business, I think it could be really cutthroat, and it can show you like if you have thick skin, like it can tell you, gauge where you are in life for real. Um,
Hmm.
some of the like I got scammed a couple times trying to like
Oh wow.
just be a videographer. Like, people were trying to scam me. They were trying to say that they were going to fly me out to somewhere to videotape something. And just, if I put the check in my account, then I have to tick like. And then it was another instance where it was a TV show that we were supposed to do a pilot for, and like the guy had allegedly swindled a lot of people out of their money, and it just wasn't like, it wasn't what he made it seem. Um, and just real world, getting
Hmm.
bills, responsibilities, where do you
Yes.
live, like you can't be a single person anymore trying to like have a good job and like paying all your bit. Like it's very hard to be an adult and you're trying to like figure out, well, if you don't previously like I did, you have to figure out who you are, where are you in society, what are you good at, what
Mm.
do you feel like you're good at. You're, you know, applying and not even like you can't even get an internship sometimes because they want experience. But how do I get experience if you don't give me the like you, so you go through like, you know, I went through a lot of like back and forth, like feeling like I know I'm good enough, but it's just like I'm not getting the feedback that I want.
Mm,
So a lot of the challenges, it was it can be deterring or hard, but
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
a lot of those I found lessons, whether I found it immediately or later on. Like I found lessons, I found blessings, like the
mm-hmm.
specific show that the pilot that we was working on, I found someone that I've worked with that is a dear person to me.
Yeah.
I would have never found that person if we wasn't on the set together.
Mm.
Mm,
The deal with the money, like the guy that was scamming me, like now I know what scams look like. Like it's
yeah.
like you have to,
Yeah. Some on the job training.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Um, and even now with social media, like you can create your own opportunities. Like it, you, all of these things they add up, and
Mm-hmm.
if you let it affect you in a negative way, it will. If you try to learn from it, you know, it'll build you. Sometimes,
Yeah.
even still, like sometimes I don't see lessons or things, but I know eventually, like I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna see it because lessons now that I have, I didn't see before. So I'll get there.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's good
Let me
that
ask you a question.
you chose not to give up and quit, and
Thank
you continued on your journey. So I commend you very much for that, because a lot of people would have caved in, quit, and threw in the towel and said, "This
Mhm.
is too much. This is too hard.
Oh
you.
yeah.
This is, you know," and they couldn't withstand the disappointment would be so tremendous that they wouldn't
Yeah.
they wouldn't be able to sustain a
Hmm.
focus, you know what I mean, in order for them to be to become who, you know, who they would ultimately become. So I commend you on that. That's
Thank
Definitely.
you know,
Well,
having that kind
thank
of
you.
strength is major. So we give you kudos for
definitely
that.
applaud
That is
I
awesome.
appreciate that.
I
Yeah.
And
want to.
sometimes a bounce back is not always immediate. Like my time that I like I say I gave up, it was over like a, I would say like a 6, 7 year span. So it's not like, you know, I know like people listening or watching or anything like that. Like sometimes they feel like they gave up for too long, that it's pointless to go back. Like it's never too late. I always feel.
Yeah, I
Good.
appreciate you
That's good.
listen, get that message to our viewers, please. Any young person listening, you heard what she said. It's never too late, you know, to bounce back. And Shane, I wanted to touch base off of your Dell State experience. Um, remember, you having a quote that says it was a culture within a culture. Can you explain
Right.
that
Mm,
part? A culture
So,
within a culture.
just like the girl in the book, like the main character, her name is Sade, and she reflects me a little bit. And one of the main ways that we mirror each other is I didn't know what an HBCU was up until like like I graduated high school and I applied. And I remember my guidance counselor, she gave me a website and was like, you can like narrow it down to what you're looking for within a school. So then it was one of the tabs where it said like, you know, ethnicity, African American. So I clicked African American.
mhm.
But I thought the schools, I thought the schools had a lot of black people because that might have just been the locals in the area. Like it just became
Right.
heavily populated with black people. And I was like, all
Yeah.
right, all right, cool. It worked for me. I don't care. So then I went to, you know, I went to Del State and they there was a woman, she did a tour and she kept saying HBCU, HBCU. I'm like, what is that? And she was
Mm.
like, it's a historically black college or university. I was like, bet I get to go to the one that, and she was like, no, it's a lot of them. So like once I got onto Del State campus, it was just like a culture shock because not only did I not know
Mhm.
what HBCU life was about, I didn't know that there was other forms of black people, like people from DC don't act like me or don't dress like me, or people from California. Like I remember I had a friend from California and he said a slang to me and I was like, what are you talking about? What does that even mean? So it's just like there's a language barrier within your culture, within your like people.
Yeah.
He said for show. And I'm like, for show.
Yeah.
But how he spelled it, I was like, fat show.
Yeah.
What is a fasciitis plant? What are you talking about? Like I was trying to paint like it was just like a culture shock. Like I don't know how to explain it. But, well, I will try to explain it the best way I can, but like just the environment on campus, like, and I would even go to say like Delaware, like yeah, it's a HBCU, but like even like FAMU or like where the community is the HBCU culture, like it was just a culture shock because I didn't know anything about anything. So like learning as I go, like being in it and learning what a HBCU was, learning what the culture is, learning what the people look like, learning how a lot of the people that like Martin Luther King or people that you learn about, like their background story, if you really look into it, are tied into HBCU culture and like the lifestyle and fraternities. I was such a Bambi. Like I didn't know anything about anything. And it was just like, I wish I can like look back and look at me go through all of this, because I would love to see my face in a lot of these situations. Like even
and is that where your Haymer? Now, what does Haymer come from? What does that mean? Is that you?
So I watch battle rap, and I was speaking with somebody, and I was trying to say the word haymaker, and I mumbled and said Haymer. But at the time, I was trying to find like a name that I liked for the comic book, and I was just like Haymer University. Like I liked it, like I liked the ring of it, so I just kept it. But it was a mistake.
No, I love it. I love it because when I seen the book title, and for those who haven't seen the book cover, you know, this is the book right here. And you can see, I guess there's Shayna right there on the right hand side, or waving her hand, fist.
Oh, no.
I guess that was you.
Yeah. Right, so that, I mean, I love the the creative piece and how you've been able to express yourself in comic form. Who were some of your mentors, or who may have helped and shaped your vision for what it is you're doing?
One of my mentors that helped me shape. So I don't know. That's a good question. That's crazy. I would say I know.
Oh, they could be mentors from afar. Like, you may look at, Spike Lee or somebody like that. You may not know them personally, but they may be somebody that encouraged you just based on their accomplishments.
So I would say I've been within like doing comic books and like my research, I found this comic book, like this group, they're called Godhood Comics. And I really like their aesthetics. Like I like what they do, and I like the things that they like show on their like website and stuff like that. So I've been like really mimicking myself, or trying to mimic like what they do or how their success is going. I would say that's an influencer though. Mentor? Wow. Come back to me on that one.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
And you know what? I think that they're so important because, they help a lot of times they're the compass for where we may be going, or maybe even not know that we're going, really helping us, giving us feedback and just, what I mean? Just
I thought of somebody, my bad. I messed up. So there is this he's like a cousin now. Like he's married to my cousin. His name is Tyrone, and I actually met him in college. My dad introduced us because his son was trying to go to Del State at the time that I was a senior. He was gonna come in as a freshman or something like that. Like I was in my junior year and he was gonna be a freshman in my senior year. I forgot how it worked out. But I met him, his dad, and his mom, and me and his dad have like a good relationship where we talk. He's a HBCU alum from like South Carolina State. I think that's where he graduated from. And he's very wise. He has like a lot of wisdom. He helps me, like he used to help me with my resume and stuff like that. And because he's like really interested in my project, he like calls on me, checks on me, makes sure like everything's good. He's actually him and his wife, well, which his wife is my cousin, but they are the ones that named the band that like you'll read about in the book. They named it the Siberian Force because the mascot is a husky. So they're the ones that named it. And I would say he would be like one of the mentors that I can actually think of. I don't know why my brain just had like a lapse, but
It's all right.
he's one of the people that I would say have like really taken an interest on it and like kind of helped me or like just even listen to me rant when I just have things to say.
And so this series, let me get this correct. So are you projecting to put it into video form or to anime form, or is it going to just be a series on a comic book level?
No, my major goal or my ultimate goal is to have it as an animated series. I'm trying to work my way up to that, and honestly, I actually see it more than what I have. Like I have it in the book where it says it's like volume 1, issues 1 through 8, but I see it going like way past that. So I'm really trying to have it where it is like each season is broken into like a school year. So like this is her freshman year. So this is volume 1 freshman year, and then volume 2 is going to be sophomore year, volume 3 junior, volume 4. So and then I wanted to make it really interactive where people create the story with me like as we go along. So yeah, I see it. Got one.
And for those who are wondering, the book could be purchased. Actually, the website is below. Can you give everybody the website, Shayna, to make sure?
It is www.9acrevibes, and the number 9 is spelled out. So NINACREVIBES.com.
Okay. And so, you have any plans? I know John touched on this in the beginning, as far as John has a quote. John, you want to reiterate that quote that you always give people?
My quote: "Feed your focus, starve your distractions." And matter of fact, Shane, I have the shirt on now. See, let me see. It's actually
starve your distractions. And
feed your focus, starve your distractions.
You have not allowed anything to distract you, and you keep moving on. So the youth need to hear this. They need to see this. They need to be inspired by what you're doing, aspirations, and to show that you can do it. You can come from any place, any part of the country, California, New Jersey, and build your dream.
Yeah.
This is critical. So now I just wanted to also now this particular project. Now, is there a way that people who would like to maybe become a part of your project, like you just said, have them be interactive? How can they reach out to you as far as being maybe a character in your book, or maybe they want to be a writer or a part of your book? For other people that like to write.
So for other writers that want to reach out, they can definitely hit me up on like my social medias, the 9 Acre Vibe social media platforms. I do DMs, that's fine. And we had a donation period before that I'm gonna eventually bring back around, but within one of the donation packages, it had it where one of the incentives were you can either become one of the character, or like we can make a character based off of you or whatever you wanted, or you can also become a part of the writing staff, or like you help
that's good.
Yeah,
That's
you
cool.
help with the upcoming like storyline. So once I do donations again, like once I put that back out, I think that will be able to open that back up.
That's good. That's good. And there's a lot of kids, young people out there that would really love to take advantage of that. And then I think having the opportunity to have practice, being able to practice on your craft, be a part of a community that really, helps to feed that gift or that ability that you have. I think those things are really important. And
Mhm.
you sound like you would be like the perfect mentor for another young person that may be, aspiring to be a writer or a comic writer. So listen, you've done a great job in all that you have sort of put yourself uh, and it's just been really a blessing. And I thank God for you. I thank God for what
Thank you.
you know you have done and what He's doing through you. And yeah, I'm telling you, you're gonna even through this session that we're having here, this interview. I think it's going to inspire a lot of young people to step out there. Because and that's one of the things I wanted to ask as we close is that um, you stepping out there um, feeling like your work was worthy of exposure.
Hmm.
That journey, how was that journey of you actually putting your stuff out there that other people could look at and say, yeah, wow, or people could be critical about it, or what? But what I want to sort of get from you is that what how was that journey for you? I want you to share that with
Um,
us.
so I I had I had helped out a friend before, and I did like a little blurb in her book. It was anonymous, had no indication of me at all. Once I found out, like she sent me a copy and I read it, I went in the bathroom, I threw up. Never did that in my life. And from that day, I was just like, I shouldn't be this nervous about something that like I just said. So like
Mm.
from that point, it just made me like kind of like calm down on what people think or what people say. And I try not to like I get feedback because I need it to either improve or see what is like wanted or anything. But if I try to like sit back and think, wow, this person might feel that, like I would have never put anything out there. So
Mhm.
I've learned that we are more critical of ourselves than other
Mhm.
people. And I feel like I had a good thing. Like I have a good storyline. I have a good book. It dives into like a lot of different topics within our community. In the little sidebar I wanted to get out there, the main character, her mother is from the West Indies, so even in the dialogue, like it shows you how she speaks, and you have to try to like understand, even for like me knowing both sides, like me like being an African American and a West Indian American, Caribbean American, like I can hear things that like my regular black friends are like, what is she saying? And it's like so this gives you a way to like, you know, understand.
Mm.
So I would say for people like, you know, when you got something good, like you don't nobody need to tell you if something good. You
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
like you know.
yeah.
So it would have just been me. It would have really just been me in my own way. And like being aware of that, I felt like I would have been more upset with regret than embarrassment. I don't know. Like
Mm, good. I like that.
which
Yeah.
one is the latter of the two?
It's funny.
Yeah.
Me and John were just talking about it the other day. Being creative people. Sometimes we can be the hardest on our own selves, and
Mm-hmm.
we all are like creative. And I have the same background as you, so videography, illustration work, so design work. I'm a graphic designer as well, and that same path. Now I went to Bowie State, and so I too kind of experienced the same thing you experienced. So and just developing like, just this platform and everything, being creative. Sometimes you have to go out there and do it, just put it out there. So, I definitely applaud you. Listen, we love what you're doing. We love to have you on here as much as possible. Love to be a part of our, our platform, as well as the website. So to all the viewers, Shayna just agreed she's going to be writing weekly on the actual blog. Is that huh? Okay.
Still right weekly.
We look forward to that. Absolutely.
We got to speak it into existence. So but that
Gotcha.
But but definitely, if me and John, our team, my name Mike, if we can, support you in any kind of way, we definitely will. You let us
Definitely,
know.
no doubt.
Thank you. I appreciate
John, you have
that.
anything else?
Well, and my final words to Shayna and all the young people that are just thinking about doing something and stepping out on nothing but believing something is there. That's called faith, and having the faith to believe that you are worth the journey. And I guess a quote that I could share that really speaks to me in this sense is that if the dream is big enough, the odds don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
If the dream is big enough, the odds don't matter. The dream always outweigh the odds. And so just continue to put one foot in front of the other, knowing that you're not by yourself. God is there with you. And we just wish you the best of luck, of blessings and those things. So they're very important. So thank you for coming on, my sister. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Same to y'all. I really appreciate
you. Thank you too. And if you'd like to donate to Haymer or Shayna's vision is 9acrevibes.com. She's also on Facebook, 9 Acres Vibe, and then Instagram 9 what is that? ACREV dot vibe.
So it's a dot between the I and a dot between the V and the I, and that stands for Virgin Islands because that's where my family.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So vibes is V dot I like Virgin Islands, and then B.
And also for those who want to sponsor, to our network, here's our ad.
Donate to the HBCU Original Cause. Help out our broadcast to continue to get out quality info to the viewers.
And once again, we'll see you next time on Spotlight.